Hey, it's James, Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I'm giving an example here of how, everybody should know the law, but not just know it in your head. Like, I remember what it kind of said. You want to absorb it and understand it. When you know and understand the law, you could spit it out on the spot. Just like if you know and understand, like if you read a book about fixing cars and you're actually out there working on cars, the actual experience of doing it, you're going to know and understand how different in parts of a car, how they intertwine, and how one thing needs another part or whatever. Or just with anything else in life. If you actually do it rather than read a book or hear about it or hear somebody talk about it, that's not, when you watch my videos, some people will like watch my videos once and then they'll be inspired and they'll go to court and they don't remember a single thing I said. If you are, by the way, I keep posting videos that have music on it, and I don't see music added to the video, and TikTok slips in a little sneaky thing. Like I'm watching myself record a video, and there's no music. There's this option that sometimes pops up, add music to this video, and then I exit out. And then when I go to kick the video out, TikTok sneaks in a song. So I'm never trying to put music on my video. So obviously I'm not having some gay little teeny bop, bubblegum pop in sync type of music song or anything like that on my video talking over me. So obviously that's a mistake and TikTok is doing something. So I don't mean to do that. If I do that, I'm not trying to have music on a video. Okay. But here's an example where if this guy would have known and understood the law, he could have shut a guardian ad litem down. Now, he didn't need an answer immediately, so he got an answer from me. But when you guys learn the law yourself, you don't need to call me up and say, what do I do next? If you know how to look up the law, or you know what the law is, or your rights are, you don't need to say, hey, James, how do I apply that law that I already know? Well, what does it say? I have a right to this, I have a right to that. Go and say you're violating my rights. Oh, I didn't know I could say it like that. Like, you need to be able to be strong and independent enough to analyze stuff yourself at some point. I'm not here to babysit or micromanage a case. A lot of people will say, oh, I wish you could speak for me. I wish you could do that. You could do everything that I did. Just study what I'm talking about and absorb it and apply it and do it yourself. Everybody just wants to be babied or think that they can't do it or it's impossible. I've proven to you that I can do it and other people can do it. I have people who are warehouse work. I'm a warehouse worker who flunked out of college. I have people who are construction workers who put on their own trial for 2, 3, 4 days. I had a guy who just won. He didn't get everything he wanted, but he won like 3/4 of the battle at trial. He had a 2-day trial and he had like 900 exhibits for trial. He still didn't do everything right, but he tried his best to prepare for trial and absorb everything. And he does some kind of environmental inspections thing. He doesn't have any understanding of the law except like regulations he has to deal with. But you got to know the law and absorb it till you understand it. And you read the law and you picture, oh, I went on that point. Oh, there's factors for determining custody. Is which parent is willing to facilitate a relation with the other parent. The mother totally flunks that. I went on this point. So when you go to court, you know that law. You say, Your Honor, you have to honor the law because at the beginning of the law, it says the court shall consider. So you could tell the court what the law says. Your Honor, you have to consider this. Somebody might, they might say, I saw your link to the law in Florida, 6313 or Family Code 3020B. I've read the law, but I don't know how to tell the judge what it says. If you know what your rights are, do you not know how to tell a burglar to get out of your house? Do you need to know all the deep legal ramifications of your right to your own property? Even a cop comes to your house. They want to come in and search your house. What do they need? A warrant. Okay. So that's all you need to know. You don't need to know all the history of case law of warrants in the history of this country. You know that the cops can't come in unless they have probable cause for a crime, which is usually an exception. Usually that's rare that happens. So that for the most part, they need a warrant. You don't need to say, all you need to say is, do you got a warrant? No. But what are you afraid of? What are you hiding from us? Just let us in. What do you need to hide? Then if you know that they need a warrant, then that's the end of it. They can't bamboozle you around it. Some people might say, oh, you're right. I am innocent. I got nothing to hide. And they go in and they plant something or they find something that you didn't know was illegal and they charge you for a different crime or something. But if you stand your ground and say, well, why can't you just comply with the Constitution and go get a warrant and do it the right way? See, if you know the law, you'll be able to flip it around on somebody any single time if you know it and you absorb it. If you half-ass just listen to a law one time or you get inspired by a video mind, then you never study, never prepare for court, and you show up in court, you think you're just going to automatically win, you're going to get screwed. And you really don't give a shit about your kid because you're too much of a lazy bum to actually study the stuff. But if you're somebody out there who wants to learn this stuff and you're intimidated and stuff, everything that a lawyer does in court is online and available for you to study and follow. And if you get a consult with me, we can go to the very specific things you need to study and talk about what works and how to say stuff and all kinds of detailed stuff like that. But if you just watch my videos, you're not going to get a detailed breakdown of everything in your particular case. So let's get to the example. The guardian litem in this case, in Washington State, a guardian litem report is due 60 days before trial for obvious reasons. You get 2 months to prepare to defend yourself, to get ready for the guardian litem's allegations or investigate the guardian litem. Everybody gets a chance at everything. You don't have to have this pussy mentality that, oh, everybody gets to just jump on me and they get to do whatever they want and I just got to take it and I just got to take it and listen to my lawyer and let everybody just bully me. No, there's laws out there with rights. And if you don't know them and you don't understand that, it's time to grow some balls and find them out or get some help from somebody. So guardian litem report is due 60 days before trial. This guy on this case, the guardian litem already did a report and she's questioning him and the trial's only a couple weeks away. And she's sending him questions and she demands him to answer them. And I told him, dude, then he even knew that the law said, RCW 26.12.175, I think it is, that guardian litem reports are due 60 days before trial. So, my sister with Down syndrome can do 2 + 2 is 4 on this. If the guardian litem report is due 60 days before trial, and the guardian litem is doing a supplemental report, it doesn't say except for supplemental reports also. If it doesn't say that, it doesn't apply and she doesn't get to do that. And if you have balls and you're not a pussy and a pushover, you will say the law says the report is due 60 days. And she says, oh, this is another report. In this case, the guardian litem told the guy, oh, well, the judges usually like me to give them an updated report. So think about this. The law says a report is due 60 days before trial. A guardian litem says, well, the judges usually want me to do an updated report. If you have half a brain, you could say what I told this guy. You could tell the judge, if the judge says, well, I usually allow an updated report after the 60-day deadline. So you allow the law to be broken? But see, most people are pussies and they wouldn't tell the judge that you're violating the law, that you're bound by your oath to follow. Because you think in a court of law, you can't talk about the law. If you're playing a chess game and somebody moves the rook diagonally across the board and snatches your king, wouldn't you complain about it? Or if you're in an actual match, wouldn't you complain to the judge or the referee? You would. But for some reason, we turn pussy in family court and we don't stand up for stuff that's obvious violations because we're pussies and we think that everybody gets to violate the law and violate us. You might as well just let robbers come into your home and just steal your furniture and stuff. You're not going to stand up to a judge when they violate your rights and your children. Why should you stand up to a robber when they come in and break the law? Breaking the law is breaking the law. You could tell, and a lot of times a great example is the most extreme example. Oh, so if a judge allows, child molestation to go on in his courtroom because he allows it, that makes it fine? Or is the judge out of order and out of line? Your Honor, you can't violate the law. Or it's tradition. Okay, so it was tradition to have slavery in this country. It was tradition to throw Japanese citizens in internment camps in World War I or World War II, maybe. Your tradition doesn't supersede the law, you stupid jackass. Now you can leave the stupid jackass part out. So if you know the law, you know how to demand the law to be complied with. It doesn't say supplementary reports are different. It doesn't add to the law, so they can't add to the law. Use some common sense, have some balls, tame your inner bitch, shut that bullshit down, and actually stand up for what the law says. But learn it and absorb it so you can spit